The Bear not only runs like a working restaurant behind the scenes, but it carries that same level of intensity and stress that real-life chefs and back-of-house crew find difficult to watch. You might be surprised to find out that every piece of food in the show was actually real and prepared on set. Jeremy Allen White trained at Michelin star restaurants, and the season 1 finale was shot in one continuous, very stressful 18-minute take. Everyone knows The Bear is an incredible show. So incredible that A-list actors were lined up around the block trying to guest star on it. Jon Bernthal comes back for a heartbreaking flashback cameo as Carmy's late brother, Michael. Who else struggled a bit during the scene when Carmy opens up his locker for the first time? We also get to see Will Poulter teach Marcus about desserts in Copenhagen, which, not gonna lie, made me really wonder what a minty Snickers bar would taste like. We also get the pleasure of seeing the iconic Jamie Lee Curtis drive a car through a house. And there are tons of other guest stars too. Sarah Paulson, Molly Gordon, Bob Odenkirk, John Mulaney, Gillian Jacobs, Robert Townsend, and Joel McHale. You'd think Jeremy Allen White was a true professional by the way he portrays Carmy in the kitchen, but in reality, the guy could really only make scrambled eggs and toast. So obviously, he had to do quite a bit of training for this role. He spent a lot of time working at Pasadena in Santa Monica, a Michelin star restaurant, and was apologizing up and down to the staff because of how bad he was.
I'm sorry I'm here too. Please be patient with me.
At one point, he got instructed to cut some vegetables by a new line cook he'd never met. Apparently, the vegetables didn't turn out too great.
I told her, you know what? I'm an actor. I'm not a chef. And she just goes, no, I know.
It was just so painfully obvious he had never stepped foot in a kitchen like that before. So speaking of training, before he got to step into the actual kitchen, Jeremy Allen White and Ayo Edebiri had to take a 2-week crash course at the Institute of Culinary Education in Pasadena to get into their characters. They got really good with their knife work. Jeremy describes it as repetition, but there's no way he could actually be a chef. It would take many more crash courses than just one.
But no, it wasn't natural. Yeah, I'll say.
Though, naturally, his favorite part about training and being in the kitchen was the food he got to eat.
I ate a lot of hot dogs, a lot of Italian beef, dozens.
Ever since the show aired, Jeremy's been referred to as chef quite a bit. When he went to one of his favorite restaurants in New York 3 days after the show aired, he was surprised by how many yes chefs he got.
Chef.
No chef.
You're welcome, chef.
When beforehand, no one really even paid attention to him there. A big part of the response was because the show really connected to people in the restaurant industry more than the cast and crew thought it would, even to the point of it being difficult to watch for some people.
I think the show seems real to them.
They were trying to show how tough the back-of-house environment is for people in the industry. They kinda did it a little too well.
I think it was a little bit traumatizing for some chefs to watch.
You know we have to talk about it. One thing that's not lore accurate to a real restaurant kitchen is how long and flowy Carmy's hair is. After Jeremy Allen White read a book by Marco Pierre White, he was inspired by how long his hair was on the book's cover, so he decided to grow his out for the show as a little nod to him. Soon after, though, everyone started calling him out for the fact that he should have been wearing a cap or a hairnet in the kitchen.
So much of Carmy's hair is probably in all those sandwiches.
It's giving secret ingredient. Maddie Matheson, who plays Fack on the show, is also a professional chef.
Yes, I am.
Because of his extensive experience in the kitchen, he worked as a technical advisor on the show. He was also joined by Courtney Storer, the showrunner's sister, who is also a professional chef. Jeremy asked them to call him out if he was ever doing anything goofy in the kitchen.
Please, yell, cut, stop me. And Maddie would all the time.
A big part of why the show looks and feels so real, like you're really in a restaurant kitchen, is because of Maddie and Courtney's real-life experiences. Circling back on that real-life experience, when Jeremy first started training at these restaurants, he started out as a fly on the wall, trying not to be in anyone's way. He studied the movement of the chefs and kitchen staff in order to emulate the way they moved through the kitchen, which would soon be his set.
There's a real ballet to these kitchens and how everybody moves because they're small.
He had to master that before they shoved him onto the actual line. He shockingly prepared real food that was served to customers at Pastroli. The kitchen that was used in the pilot episode was an actual restaurant kitchen. For the rest of the episodes, they built an identical kitchen on a soundstage.
Down to like the water stains, I still don't understand how they did it.
Literally, everything in the kitchen was real and operated like an actual restaurant. Yes, even the fire and the plumbing, all real. Even the food they cooked was prepared on set in real time. They'd actually get in trouble a lot for eating in between takes.
These are props. We know that this is like food that looks good and smells good and whatever.
If you've worked in a restaurant before, you know that it can be an absolute nightmare. Apparently, so is doing a show about one.
Why hasn't there been a restaurant show before? And like on day one, we were like, oh, it's why?
They established that if they could capture only 50% of how chaotic a real restaurant is, they'd be in good shape. It helped that FX trusted them to do the show, even though they weren't exactly sure how it would be done.
That is a great question.
It also really helped, and made it a lot less nightmarish, that the show was incredibly intimate, especially coming out of COVID.
Experience of making it was so incredible. I didn't realize how much I'd missed being with people.
When it came to the props and the set, they wanted everything to look and feel like a working business, particularly the business that was depicted on screen. They had to make sure the props were accurately placed for the story being told. Maddie Matheson had a lot of input on the continuity and story that the props told.
The guy literally in the scene, he didn't even get enough beef. Why is there beef in the walk-in?
When they first showed up, there was a plethora of ingredients in the walk-in, as well as too many pots and pans. They had to start stripping everything back because essentially this restaurant didn't have the funds for all that stuff. So we know The Bear's a comedy, but sometimes it's downright stressful to watch. That comedic relief is essential. A lot of the quips and comedic beats were naturally brought to life by the cast.
What's UPS? That's in Chicago?
United Parcel Service.
Every take was different from the last, and they had a lot of fun going back and forth with each other. A big reason why the show's comedy is so successful is because the cast, they really love each other.
To make it feel that alive sort of invites weird, funny to happen.
The chemistry is prevalent in every scene. Also, because the way it was written was so fast and repetitive a lot of the time, it gave the actors a lot of leeway to riff off of one another with the lines that were written in the script. Oftentimes, they would ask to go and do a take again because they were having so much fun. But the directors would be like, nah, we're good, we got it. The episode The Review was done in one 18-minute take. It was done to hone in and capture the cooker pressure claustrophobia of the chaotic kitchen setting. The creator, Christopher Storer, utilized his background in live stage work like Bo Burnham specializes as well as minimalist, character-driven comedy like Raimi. They ended up shrinking down the script in that episode, which originally took place over several hours, into what was seen in the 18 minutes. The Bear stands as a testament to the dedication and talent of its cast and crew. Jeremy Allen White's meticulous preparation and training, the incredible working kitchen created on the soundstage, and the chemistry between the cast allowed those much-needed moments of comedic relief to shine. What are your favorite moments from The Bear?